a Canadian radio sanctuary podcast.
A club in Vancouver named Punchlines is designed for laughter. LG 73's Frank Thompson visited the jocular establishment at its new address, upstairs, 21 Water Street.
The man with the managerial punchlines is Rich Elwood. His is the only full-time comedy theater in Western Canada. Do people come expecting to laugh?
People come here, as a matter of fact, not knowing what to expect. You see, that's the whole thing. People expect to see, oops, hang on a second. Is it started? Really just gone dark. Hang on a second. You believe this? It's opening night and we've got a power failure here.
When the power came on, the punchlines began. Colin, Campbell, concerned about cliches.
Why is it when men get married, after a while, they always start calling their wives the little woman? You ever hear that one? The little woman. Sounds like they're marrying a midget, right? By the way, Harry, where'd you meet the little woman? I met her at the beach. She was lying on a face cloth.
Ryan Stiles.
It's just that in times like today, with the ever-present threat of nuclear destruction, I find it hard, so hard, not to think of the Bay.
Rich Elwood himself between acts.
Now, can you imagine a Star Trek movie brought back and modernized to fit into today's mold, right? Here's Kirk and Spock on planet Gamma Kappa Delta, okay? They're surrounded by Klingon college students, right? Spock, call this ship. We need reinforcements. Yes, Captain. Breaker. How about you, Enterprise? Do you copy? Thank you for calling the USS Enterprise. Commander Scott is not here right now. I'm out with Uhura snorting dilithium crystals. At the sound of the tone, please leave your name and the planet you're calling from. Thank you. Yeah? Weird. Now, one thing that confused me about Star Trek, why was it every time they beamed down to a planet, they didn't have to go through customs? Remember that? Can you imagine that? Two little guys running out searching the molecules, right? Okay, no liquor, go ahead.
Punchlines, 21 Water Street, Wednesday through Saturday, where you're invited to drop in and...
The most important thing to remember is if something strikes you funny, laugh at it. Where do you get people coming up to you at parties and stuff all the time asking you questions? How much does a comedian make? I get asked that all the time. I don't know about the top guys in the field. I'm sure they make a good dollar, but when you're just starting out, you don't really make all that much money. But I can personally say in my case, with a straight face, that last year I grossed $35,000. Didn't really make all that much money. I just dropped my pants at a football game. That'll gross a few.
When you take anybody off the street, anybody from a radio station, anybody who thinks he's funny, a lunchroom comic comes to you and says, hey, I want to perform here. Is that all it takes?
Well, you're asking me that just because I turned you down 5 minutes ago. But no, yeah, we take pretty well anybody once. We have an open mic thing, of course, on Wednesday and Thursday nights after the first show for very raw beginners. If somebody shows the promise or potential, we bring them back on a regular Wednesday, Thursday night run. And Wednesday, Thursdays, most of the comedians break in new material. Those are the best nights to come down and catch comedy at its finest, you know?
You're traveling. Do people travel? Is there a circuit? Is there a comedy circuit from the different clubs across the country? And
yes, there is now. We exchange comedians with clubs in Ottawa, Montreal, and Toronto, and I am just expanding into the United States myself. That's coming in the very near future. We bicycle comedians around, I guess is the term, as well as I have a tour going out just after New Year's across Western Canada, doing all the colleges and universities in Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba, booking like a 6-comedian roadshow across the country. So we're hoping it gets good response, and I think it will.
These people, budding comics, I guess, I don't know, it just seems to be, how does a person start here at Punchlines and look up the road and someday is doing Johnny Carson?
Sure. Matter of fact, we've booked people on the Alan Hamill show myself. I did the... Can I plug myself? Okay, it's cool. Check with the agent. Yeah, just kidding. Did the Alan Hamill show at the beginning of this year, and I am booked in also the November 24th Alan Hamill show. So we're booking comedians onto different shows. CBC, a nice show. Hopefully the Vancouver show has used comedians in the past and will continue to do so. So the comedians are performing, you know. This is the thing. I am opening doors and channels in comedy and promoting the idea of comedy more than ever, trying to get comedians times and to establish a fundamental comedy industry in this part of the country.
How does a comedian promote himself? A record artist, a singer, can cut a record and send it out to all the different radio stations, all the different TV stations. How does a comedian get himself known around?
Okay, well, the most important thing a comedian has to have, first of all, is good material, and I mean very good material, original, unstolen, and have a good act. We have an agency within Punchlines, the Punchlines Comedy Theatre agency, which promotion and most of the agency business is handled by Mike McCoy. Mike opens doors, knocks on doors, and books comedians into different places for one-nighters and things like that. And as I mentioned, we do pay comedians down here to feature and showcase acts are paid, and everybody else is just putting in their time.
Fad diets are all the rage today, and I don't know, I don't put much stock in them myself. I was shopping in the Safeway the other day, and I saw a little booklet entitled Dieting Can Be Fun. Well, I didn't buy the booklet, but I've been on enough diets to know that if they figured out a way that dieting can be fun, they're doing something else with the carrots besides grating them into a salad. I know that much. Different things motivate different people into going on a diet. For most people, it's when they can't drop the top button on their pants. For me, it's when I see a $50 bill laying on the ground and I can't bend over to pick it up. Or I find I have shortness of breath from chewing gum. I went to the doctor a little while ago for a physical checkup. He took one look at me and he said, Lynda, you have got to go on a diet. Your blood pressure is terrible. Blood is supposed to circulate. Yours doesn't even mingle. Well, that did encourage me into going on a very serious diet, and I did, and I lost a lot of weight. Went back to the doctor for another checkup, and he took a look at me and he said, hey, you're in terrific shape. You got to buy you an 18-year-old girl. Well, I was really impressed, and I came running home, and I took all my clothes off and stood in front of a full-length mirror admiring myself. My husband, Walter, came home, and he said, what are you doing? So I told him what had happened at the doctor's, and he said I had a terrific shape, the body of an 18-year-old girl. He said, did he mention anything about your big fat ass? I said, no, he didn't ask about you at all.
How do you find the audiences? Are they as responsive as you would like them to be, as they are, or as responsive, say, in Toronto and more established clubs?
Well, we have good and bad audiences. It's true with any club. I find the people here come down not knowing what to expect first time. They may, in some situations, not know how to react to what we're doing, but the most important thing to remember is the comedy club. We're here to make you laugh. If you find it funny, laugh at it. People sometimes become inhibited, even with a group of friends, Socially, it's not cool to laugh unless everybody else is, right? I mean, you stand out and people get very self-conscious, but that's not what we want, We try to break that barrier, and a good comedian can break that barrier and loosen an audience up.
Bringing up kids isn't easy. I've got a couple of kids, and I'm sure a lot of you people in the audience do too, and I don't know about you, but around our house, there's a certain set of rules that we abide by. One of them is always stick to your guns. I think it's really important when you're bringing up kids. Myself, I use a Colt 45. I find it works as good as any. Seriously, the trickiest part about bringing up kids is when they start asking questions about sex. I've got a little boy, and the other day I overheard a conversation between him and the little girl next door. And I heard her say to him, do you know what a penis is? He said, no, I don't, but tonight I'll ask my dad. So later on that night, my son said to my husband, Daddy, can you tell me what a penis is? He said, sure, son, come on over to the other room and I'll show you. So they went into the other room, and my husband pulled down his pants, and he said, that's a penis. Not only that, but it's a perfect penis. That was fine. The next day, the kids were outside playing, and the little girl said to my son, did you find out what a penis is? He said, yeah, come on into the bushes and I'll show you. So they went into the bushes, and my son pulled down his pants, and he said, that's a penis. Not only that, but if it was 2 inches shorter, it would be a perfect penis.
All right, that's Lynda Konarski at Punchlines. We also heard Colin, Campbell, and Glen Lamont. And Rich Elwood, the man behind the Punchlines, open Wednesday through Saturday down in Gastown, 21 Water Street. I'll try to just bring a few more smiles to this old planet. I'm Merv Connolly.